So thank you everybody for joining us today for this sort event. My name is Jean on the Aura team, and then with me I have the man, the myth, the legend, Joe of Trio Saveda. So Joe, I want to first congratulate you on making Salon Top 200. That's an incredible feat, and I'm pumped that that's the topic we're going to be covering today. So if you could just give us a little bit of background and like an introduction of yourself.
All right, that sounds good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
All right, so we are Trio Salon. We're an Aveda branded salon, and we're located in Fort Collins, Colorado, which if you look at Colorado as a square, Denver's kind of in the middle. And if you look at Denver and Cheyenne, Wyoming, we're in between the two. So within 45 minutes, we can be in Denver, 45 minutes, we can be in Wyoming. Yahoo. Um, the populace around here, it's about 190,000. That's Fort Collins and the surrounding cities. And then like Gene said, we got the Salon Today 200. This is our sixth or seventh one, but this time we won under retail and merchandising, which I'm excited to share some of the secrets that Aura has, because it's a powerhouse to really reach your customers if it's being used correctly. And this is just what we've learned so far. And if you guys have other ideas, I'd love to share that at this roundtable today. We also were voted best salon in our area in 2022. It took us 25 years to get that designation. There's about 300 salons in our area, and we got to get voted to be number one, of which we used Aura. That just came to mind. I sent out a little scent marketing. I said, here's the link, vote for your salon. And our customers came to our aid, and we got the top spot. And then I don't know how many of you guys belong to a group called Cunity. They're a very visual explanation on how to help technicians get to their goals, because technicians hear static all the time. When I start talking numbers, they're hearing and so Cunity really gets a really visual system for them to get to their goal. And we won the engagement award in 2022, and in 2023 we're about to go to the Phil conference next weekend, and we got the growth award, and part of that is because of our retail merchandising and what Aura has allowed us to do. So let's get started. As you have questions, my understanding, Gene, is they're going to put them in the chat.
In the chat, correct. And then I'll kind of pause and just kind of read those off to you.
Sounds good. All right, so this is an example of what we've done in Scent. We actually attached an Aveda graphic in the Scent module, and then we put a step-up offer in the text on that. And just to get a better picture, we sent this out this was a year ago, our event on May 12th. We sent it out at 8:30 in the morning. We opened at 9. And it was sent to all customers that we had from July of 21 to May of 22. And that ended up being about 1,000 customers, just to give you some context. And then we also just selected Aveda product purchasers. I didn't want it to go to everyone. People who come in, they're not committed to our retail. So I was able to select this and refine it. And that's how we got to around, it's always around 1,000. And so this is what it looks like. What I did is I modified the Aveda graphic that we got from Aveda companies, and we branded it with our little graphic. And then I added some text to explain how people could participate. They could stop by, or they could call, or they could text us their order. And all of that, of course, is through Aura. So then we sent out a last chance graphic to Scent, and we sent another one. And the step-up offer is if they spend $75 after the discount, they get one of these 5 products for free. So just to get them to increase the spend, right? And that was sent on the 17th, and the last day of the event was the 18th. You can see from the graphic, it says ends tomorrow. Again, we sent it out at 8:30 in the morning, sent to the same demographic, just to product purchasers. And now here's the interesting thing. We lost 4% of people that were receiving this between the first one and the second one, because people are opting out. So what we've learned is you've got to be really cautious on overdoing your scent because people will start opting out. So this is what the last chance looks like. Again, we branded it. We added some text. And then this time we put in, I liked adding the last chance just to bring it ends tomorrow, come on. And then I also made it easier and I put in our hours so people could just open that on their phone, see that they need to get there at a certain time. And then one more went out because Aveda surprised us and they extended the event. So again, we added that to Scent, added the step up offer, and this event was extended 2 days. So then again, we sent it at the same demographic, product purchasers, and again, we lost an additional 3%. So again, cautious on how you're using your scent because people will opt out if they start getting irritated. So what were the results? Well, this is the branding, the text, graphics, and then the extended. And then of course we put in hours so they could see when they could come by. All right, so the results. For our May of 22, we sent out this graphic through Scent and it generated $5,600 in sales. And that was from the 12th to the 16th.
Killer.
Then we did the last chance offer and we did 6,600 in 2 days because people were like, oh no, we're all busy. And it's like, I got to get there before the sale ends. And then of course it was extended. It was a surprise to us. And that generated 5,400. So the total event was over $17,000 in 8 days open, I think, and which represented about 55% growth. And then, there's a lot of questions. Yeah, you're doing this big growth offer, you're doing this big sale, but how does it affect your post-sale slump? And we did see a 16% decline in retail sales, but that also coincided with Memorial Day was bumping up. So I think a lot of people were gone. So this was a great event for us. And customers really like these sales event. We have found that it's because it's a form of customer appreciation. Plus, Aveda reimburses some of this, so it doesn't really cost the company as much as what you would think. So
now,
then,
Joe,
yes.
go ahead. I was going to say, because we're talking a lot about scent and about how clearly effective it is, would it be beneficial, do you think, at this time for me to go ahead and kind of pull up a representation just so everybody can kind of see that visual component that comes with the campaign?
Yeah, let's do that. Do I need to stop my share or what do I need to do?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right.
Perfect. And then I'll go ahead and pull up my screen so you guys can see exactly what scent looks like. Now, Joe, can you see my screen and also hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So to get to Scent, that sort of campaign and marketing tool that Joe was referencing, I'm going into Aura, going into marketing, and then clicking into Scent, my campaign builder. Now, the thing with Scent is it really can be used for a number of different reasons. So I have a ton of different filters here. Now, that appointment date filter is kind of where Joe was referencing, that wide net, right? Being able to target individuals who have been in, historically, and also individuals who may be coming in the future, right? They haven't gotten to their appointment quite yet, but they do have something upcoming on the book. So that's really how you define that net that Joe was talking about. Now we have a number of different filters. Okay, so we have providers booked with. So realistically, you could be using a Scent campaign to, target people who've seen just one or a couple of individuals. Because that's not totally relevant with the retail kind of campaign Joe is referencing, we could also turn that filter completely off. The same is going to apply with services booked. So you can, drill down to service categories, individual services that have been booked previously. However, again, because this references retail specifically, you can also say, you know what, I'm not very concerned with this particular filter. But when it comes to products purchased, this is where I can go ahead and select that specific product line, okay? And I can even break down the individual product line and just select individual products from it. Again, I can also say this doesn't apply, right? So a lot of different filters. You also have hair type as well. So hair type is something that you can define per client, and you can, target individuals based on their specific kind of hair. But ultimately what you go to is this message content area. And Joe, I hope I did it justice when I was creating this. But basically this is where you can create the content. for your
Yes.
scent campaign. Okay. And as you can see, you can add text, you can add emojis. I have a little Giphy associated as well, which I believe, Joe, this is where you said you place the images with your specific logo on it, which is killer. So you can upload images, you can upload Giphies. Either way, the entire purpose of this is for you to be able to customize it however you want it to be read when clients receive it. You can then review your list and then ultimately schedule when this is going to go out. So you can send a test to yourself just to make sure the campaign looks how you want it to look when a client is.
Always send a test.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely send yourself a test to make sure it's going to look good on a mobile device. You can send it immediately, or you can schedule a specific day and time for it to go out. So if it is one of those seasonal events like Joe was talking about, I can say, hey, maybe this begins on the 18th at a very, very specific time. And in short, that is sent. Now, Joe, I want to ask you, based on kind of what I just ran through, in my demonstration of sent, is there anything that you would have added, or is that pretty much kind of how you like to do it?
That's pretty much it, because you can get pretty specific with the filters. You can go by service provider. You can do all service providers, even service providers that have left, moved away, or whatever. You can book. I played with the appointment dates time, like how far into the past do I want to go? How far into the future do I want to go? And Aura does a really great job of filtering. If Betty comes in November and Betty comes in February, she's just going to get one.
Right.
But I want to capture as many of those. My question is, if somebody comes in for a retail purchase only, just a retail, does that count as an appointment? I think it does.
So under products purchased, that's where you would apply that filter.
Okay.
Let me go ahead and drop down my screen so you can go back to your individual deck, Joe. But that was just kind of a brief summary of scent. I wanted to make sure that everybody got a visual kind of view of that, since we've just been talking through it up until this point. But that's proven to be very, very effective for you guys.
Yes, that has been really good.
Perfect.
All right. Are we back on?
We are back on. Yes.
And you can hear me?
I can. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to do a couple more examples of what we did this past year. Because again, we had another event in September, added the graphic, added the step up offer, scheduling the time to go out. This time we hit all people people who had appointments in January, and again, also just Aveda product purchasers. This event was different because it was 20% off, not 25. And so again, adding your graphic, modifying the graphic, and then testing it to make sure that it reads well when you send it to a mobile device. And again, they did a last chance thing, sent it to the same demographic. And again, we lost about 7% at this time on these opt-outs. And then the last chance offer, again, how I modified it and then added hours. And of course, Aveda surprised us all again by extending the sale, step up offer, sent it to the same demographic. Actually, we threw a wider net because we opened our books through holiday. And again, we lost about 1% through those opt-outs. So then with the sale extended, again, we just tried to modify it and then put these hours, because this one was extended by 3 days. So what were the results? Well, when we did the beginning, 17,900 for a 20% off sale. I thought that was pretty amazing. And then when we did the last chance, we had almost 4,000. And then when they extended it, we did a little over 5,500. So we did 27,400. So we did, if you look at the gross, that represented about $33,000 in retail that we did in this 10-day event. And this is how we got the Salon Today 200 award because of this. So this was 72% growth, and that was pretty awesome. At the sale price, 72% growth over a normal period. And the post-sale slump, there was none. We actually saw a 6% increase after the sale was over based on our normal retail sales. So again, I hear owners and managers say, we don't want to do the sale because it's just, we're going to cannibalize our sales. And I don't see it to be true. Maybe you guys have a different experience. Last one, I think this was a sale in November around the holidays. So how did that fare? This was right before Thanksgiving. We sent it to everybody who had an appointment in 2022, and then everyone who just purchases a Aveda. Again, branding it, you want to make sure it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Then we did the last chance offer again with the step-up offer. Now, what's different about this one, it took more to get the step up. We decided to go with a higher, the previous ones were $75. These ones were $125. So we stepped it up to get a free product just to see how that affected sales. And then this was sent November 26th. The event ended on Monday, November 28th. And again, we actually grew 1% because people were making appointments in December because we just opened up the appointments. So this is what's different with this one. During the sale, we had a little shopping event that we created. It's called a sip and shop event. We put we put a different step-up offer in for this Black Friday event. And this was sent on Wednesday, November 3rd, 23rd. Thanksgiving was on Thursday, and the event was on Friday. It was sent on 1 p.m. before Thanksgiving because we thought if we sent it out on Thanksgiving, nobody's going to read it. Mm-hmm. And it was sent to all customers, Aveda purchasers. We lost 5% through opt-outs, and we also mailed postcards to our top 200 event that looked a lot like this graphic to help support this event. So the event is branded, and the information, because this was a 5-hour event. So how much retail could we do in 5 hours on Black Friday when everybody else is running their sales? And then we also there were several step-up offers. If you spend 100, you get this. If you spend 165, you get that. If you spend 240, you get this. And then we also hired a local bartender to serve champagne, and we also serve chocolates.
Oh, what an experience.
Yeah, so it's a 5-hour event. So, and then again, the last chance offer went out, and then the Aveda extended it for 1 day this time. And we lost 7% through opt-outs. So that's what that all looked like. So the results, when we did the night, put your holiday hat back on, and this is the Saturday before Thanksgiving through Wednesday. So that was 10,599. Then we had this little 5-hour event on Black Friday. We were open 9 to 6 that day, just with a couple of service providers. But we also had this retail event in the middle of it, and that did 6,000 in 5 hours. So I thought that was a great payout.
Incredible. Mm-hmm.
And then the Saturday and Monday, Saturday and Monday, last chance was 5,000. And again, I think people are getting into the holiday spirit and trying to do all that shopping, last minute shopping. And then on Tuesday after Thanksgiving, it was extended by 1 day, and we did 1,100. So this particular event did almost 23,000, which represented 95% growth. When I'm saying growth, I'm looking at the previous 10-day period, comparing it to this 10-day period. And it's because I want to capture seasonality, but that was 95% growth.
It's incredible.
That's double. Because I don't know if you remember, back in this holiday period, people were running their Black Friday specials in October and the middle of October, end of October, beginning of November, they were running. And so I felt like we were really competing with that. And I'm not sure what we're going to do as a company next year, because everybody was doing their specials very early on in the holiday season. And post-sale salon, because we were going into the holidays, we actually saw a 9% increase because now people are shopping, etc.
It's incredible. So you timed it specifically so there weren't all of those similar kind of campaigns and sales and things going on at the exact same time, which I think is incredibly smart.
Yes, but what I found interesting is this did 23,000, which we did more in September at a 20% off than we did in these holiday period with 25%. But I think all the noise from all the big box and everybody running their Black Fridays early threw us off on this campaign, but still happy. 95%.
It's still great. Yeah.
95% increase over the previous 10 days. And then to continue to see it increasing as we get closer to Christmas. Just some last thoughts. I've also have you sent, here's an example of our gift card offer. You buy a $200 gift card, get a $50 Aveda gift. they can pick, they use a $50 credit towards any Aveda product, and then they can click the link and get right to our e-commerce page and purchase that gift card through Aura. And we saw a 3% increase this year over last year.
Amazing, amazing.
And just as if you'll notice, it says to opt out of future promotional notifications. This is what your customers see. And if they're getting too many of these, this is where they're going to opt out. And then lastly, what we also did is we branded our sent text with our logo, and we did a pricing announcement because this is Megan. She had a price increase, and because sent, you're limited to 156 characters or something like that. We used a link program where they could actually click on this link of Megan, and it goes to this right on their phone. It goes to this text, and just it was too long to get a screenshot, but it's basically telling all of Megan's customers that, hey, she's got a price increase coming. It starts on this date. This is how much it's going to be. And this is where it really is pivotal to be able to choose all those people who have future appointments with Megan. Here's an announcement. So that was very cool too. All right, I am done.
Well, that's amazing. I have a quick question for you, Joe. So being on the Aura side, right? I love all of the scent praise. So I love to hear how you've like mastered the tool that we have, and it definitely shines through, and it shows that you made the Salon Top 200, especially in what I, as a former service provider, would consider a rather challenging category. But was scent the only tool that you used in Salon, or was there anything else that you did in Salon to really kind of promote those retail sales?
We always have mirror talkers.
Okay.
At every station, and it mimics the scent graphic. We also have step-up offers that we trained right before COVID. We started training our guests. If you spend a little bit more, you'll get something free. And we have promotional dollars that we can use with our vendor, with Aveda, to get some of that stuff at no cost to us. Sometimes it's no cost, sometimes it's minimal. And so just trying to get them to impulse buy, and it works. They have, if the step up offer is $90 and they're in Salon and they're spending 80, they're going to buy that one more thing,
right,
to get that free thing.
Well, I mean, I think the entire, logic behind the way that you're doing it is very, very smart, right? People buy retail and then other people don't buy retail. So you've found these very strategic ways to target the individuals that historically are going to purchase retail. So again, congratulations on making the Salon Top 200. It's a killer feat. I don't see that we have
one
any
more.
Oh, yeah,
one more thought. I think especially as owners and managers, post-COVID, just with the transition we saw of several technicians leaving, resigning, moving, my wife and I had to really think through, like, how can we still grow even though we have less technicians? And so the retail portion is like, well, if we can get them to spend more because they're here, they're going to come in. So can we get more? And that's really where the brainchild started, having me look at scent and go, okay, what can we do? We can do step-up offers. We can get them to spend more. We make more profit on retail than we do service anyway. And as far as size of salon, we're a 12-chair salon, and right now we've grown to 14 stylists and 1 nail tech. But back in 2022, we were down to like 9 stylists. And so the growth in retail really, really helped us stay profitable and stay afloat.
It's amazing. It's amazing. Well, it's always very, very, pleasant for me to see. It's a gift to see, the people that we work with really use the tools that we have in place and become very successful with them. So I do not see any questions in the chat. I'll give everybody kind of a second if they have anything they may want to say. But Joe, I can't thank you enough for your time today. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you. As always, it always is. And then to everyone who's joined, it's been a pleasure having you guys here. So I'll give it a second to see if anybody puts anything in the chat. While we're waiting on that, I will go ahead and say that a recorded copy of this meeting can be issued to those in attendance. And if you are not currently using Aura but are interested in it for this month, if you sign on this month, that feature that we looked at, Sent, that Joe has been using, we will offer you a complimentary month including that feature. So if you were to sign on with Aura, you would have your first month free with that add-on included in that complimentary time. So amazing.
Great.
Perfect. Well, Joe, thank you so much.
You're welcome. We'll talk to you guys later.
Amazing. Thanks, everybody. Bye, guys.